it going? Just cleaning up the shop. Doing a bit of spring shop cleaning. Got to reorganize this entire place. Sweep it. All that fun stuff. Got a lot to do today. After every project, it gets rather messy in here. And things kind of just build up until I get sick of staring at it, looking bad, and then I finally get the gumption to actually clean it. How you doing today? My day is going good. Just been kind of a slow day, honestly. Working on cleaning and reorganizing everything in here because my chisels are all over the place. My sanding belts are all over the place. My scrap metal pile is completely disorganized. It's basically, during the winter, I get kind of lazy. I do a lot of projects, but I don't do a lot of the cleanup. And now that it's a nice 60-ish degree day out, I'm going to stop being so lazy today and get the cleaning bug out of me, so to speak. Get everything reorganized and cleaned up in the shop so that way it's easier to work in for the rest of the year. I am going to need to go run and grab my broom here in a second. That's going to be one of the main things is getting this place swept up. Let's see. A little stump. Rag towel. Go in the towels. Definitely sounds like it. Most definitely. Most definitely. A lot of the time I don't really show a lot of the back end of what I do in the shop. I just show, the more cool, interesting stuff, but not really anything too cool about cleaning. I figured it'd be a good opportunity to chit-chat with people and, just do some Q&A, talk shop, so to speak. I will be right back. I'm going to go snag a broom really fast so I can start the sweep up process. Alrighty, I am back. Sorry for the delay. Had to go grab the trash can as well, because I've got a lot of trash in here that's going to need going out. Like I said, during the winter I get a little lazy. This is probably going to be a couple hour long stream of literally just going from the chaos and mess that the shop is currently in to complete and total organization. I've got a throwing knife video coming up that I made out of what was left of this wrench. As you can see, this wrench was busted and rewelded and all kinds of stuff. Got it at a yard sale super cheap. It's a massive crack right there, so I literally chopped it off and made a throwing knife out of it for a family friend. So that'll be up on the channel soon. But there's little bits of scraps here and there that I cut off and didn't ever pick up. All kinds of stuff. So we've got a long project ahead of us in terms of cleanup work for this shop. There's railroad spike head from one of the guards for one of these swords. Rag towels all over the place. Piece of forklift tine. But it'll give me a good opportunity to do a little shop tour that's more in depth as I continue to clean up the shop. So that'll be fun, right? How's your day going, Chris? And everybody else, how you doing? Oh, crap. Keep the shirt on. This is not an OnlyFans stream. This is a TikTok stream, YouTube stream. We don't need to be showing any skin when we take off our jacket. It's been a pretty good day. Thanks for asking. Of course, of course. Glad to hear it. Hang that up there for now. Put these over by my apron for now. Just so they're up and out of the way. And set the chair outside for a minute. Arrows away. All the arrows. And the little baby crossbow bolts. These are the good ones. Those, throw these away because they're rotted. I'm glad you're having a good day, man. It's always nice to have good days rather than bad ones. chisel that needs a handle. Trash. A bunch of scraps. Various projects. Tell you what, this is going to be a big project to clean up, but it's going to be very satisfying when it's all done. Another little hunk of coil spring. Looking forward to the new swords going up on the shop. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I've got everything measured, and I've got all the pictures and stuff I need. Now it's just a matter of getting it all uploaded onto the Etsy store. Oh, where the hell did that wrench go? There we go. Allen wrench. Little axe head. Eventually become press plate. Oh, there's my sunglasses I've been looking for the past 2 months. Wash those off here in bed. Springs for that. The bucket, unfinished projects. Now we can just put all these in here without all the crap that was in there with them. And we have a nice little bucket for all the pieces of scrap for now. For now then, I guess. Got a little axe head with a spike that's in the works that I forgot I had. It's another reason that spring cleaning is an essential thing in a blacksmith shop is you end up with so many projects that are halfway done that you just forget that you started. What the hell was that? Oh, what am I throwing there? The rebar ones. Yeah, I don't think you guys can see just how messy this floor is. It's not the best right now. All them leaves and sawdust and all kinds of crap that I let pile up over the winter. So that's going to be one of the main things we address first. More scraps. We definitely don't want to drop steel on a pile of leaves. 2,000 degree steel on dried leaves and sawdust is not a good idea. Tends to be a little bit of a fire hazard when that happens. That's why we have 2 different kinds of fire extinguishers. Just in case things don't go as planned. Haven't had a fire in the shop yet. Cross your fingers. Here's a piece of metal. There's one. Alright. Another one. Now I don't have a dustpan, so that's going to be the fun part. My spring cleansing this year is completely moving my shop after I finish putting in concrete. Damn. Yeah, so this whole shop, I actually built with my buddy George and the help of my father, who was a construction worker after he got out of the military. So we hand dug, I believe both these slabs are 16 inches deep. We hand dug 16, leveled it, hand poured, hand mixed all the concrete for both of these slabs, and hand built the walls and ceiling, roof, all that stuff for the shop. This side of the shop, the grinding room, is actually a canopy, like a camping canopy, that I'm going to be getting a new top for because the winter's kind of destroyed it for the most part. So I've got a lot of cleanup work to do, but I can relate with the pouring the concrete. Inside, I don't know if you saw my anvil stand before the box that I made for it, but it's a block of reinforced concrete with like chicken wire and rebar. So my anvil is basically sitting on the ground, so to speak, with just a wood case over it. It actually helps a lot because that wood case helping keep it from moving. I can move steel so much better now than I ever could before when I was just sitting on that concrete block. But I can definitely relate to that. Move my clamps out of the way for the moment so I can get all the sawdust and metal dust off this. Stand here. One of the extra pieces of strap. Probably about 150 pounds worth of shit on here. If we can tip it over without breaking anything. And get that dust off of there. Now comes the fun part. Gotta flip it back up. Ah, much better. Scoot this over for the moment so we can sweep where that was. actually move this further over. Go. Put the clamps back on. But yeah, it's going to be quite a process we got going here. As you can see, we've already got quite a pile of leaves. I still haven't gotten back behind the anvil yet. Probably going to sweep all the scale off of it too. The hand sledge. An axe that I have yet to work on. Hammer that needs a new handle. I can go in the unfinished piles. Bin. Toss that. Scrap. Scrap. One big problem with an outdoor shop, especially with all the trees that I have around, is lots of leaves. Lots and lots and lots of leaves. Move these hammers over here. So they're out of the way. That way I can get that section all cleaned up. Empty, but we still have enough in there to do something with them. Move the linseed oil. But yeah, it's quite a project. Like I was saying, getting all this cleaned up before the spring season. Double-bitted axe head. Put this up here for a moment while I sweep. Piece of chain. Question is, what are we going to use as a dustpan? That'll work. Would you say your shop is big enough for you and your projects? Or would you expand? If I had the space and the money, I definitely would expand. It's big enough for what I make, being a one-man operation. Um, Sometimes it can be a little close quarters, especially with bigger projects, but it's big enough for the majority of things that I try and do in the shop, for sure. I mean, you can never have too much workspace. And one thing that a lot of people that get into blacksmithing fail to consider when they make these massive shops is that you want your anvil and your vices and stuff like that to be close enough to your forge where you can get from your forge to your working space in a big hurry, because every second you're out of the fire, you're losing heat in your material. So the faster you can get from fire to anvil, from fire to vise, depending on what you're trying to do, the less heat you lose and the more efficient you're going to be, just in general. So that is one thing that a lot of people fail to consider when they first set up their shops, is you want your anvil right up next to your forge, as close as you can be comfortably, with enough space to work around the anvil, let's say. So much freaking forge scale. You'd be amazed how much forge scale piles up in a blacksmith shop around the anvil in one winter. Whole crap load of burnt oxygen, let's say. We're going to reorient that later. I can actually go right there. Chair for this. Here we go. Pulled the other bows down for a TikTok stream I was doing a while back. Ended up putting them back up. Move the big old redneck crossbow This right here is a feat of redneck engineering that I created a while back. It's a fun little crossbow. Saw blades and a trampoline spring for the limbs. Give me just a sec. I just realized I left my coffee inside, and this is an operation that requires coffee. leave my coffee outside the shop, just on the concrete there. That way I don't get a bunch of dust in it. Because metal dust in your coffee is never tasty. Ever, ever, ever. And I'm sure I already have plenty of iron in my blood. Dust and all that stuff out of here. Okay. Now we can turn it around. Start working on this side of the shop. Because now I've got to clean up the floor throughout all of here. Actually, first thing I need to do is dump the trash that I have back there. Because I have a little bin back here that's been filling up all winter. And it's time to be emptied. Much better. Now I can sweep this side of things out without that in the way. But I don't know if you can see how much leaves and crap is built up there over the course of the winter. This was the old grinder that died. The motor on this thing is shot. So I'm going to try and disassemble that very shortly now that it's warmer outside. See if I can either fix it or tear it apart. Get all these little pieces of scrap picked up first. That way I don't accidentally sweep them up and toss them. Allen wrench. Man, I've been at this for 40 minutes already. Does not feel like it. Get the fan out, because we're going to need that here soon when it starts to warm up. if you guys saw the grappling hook, but that's the grappling hook that I made a while back. It's a useful tool to have. Grappling hooks are always fun. Spring cleaning is going pretty good so far, but it looks like this. Yeah, that side has a lot more than this side does. And in addition to getting this cleaned up, I'm going to reorganize everything in here because it's gotten pretty damn disorganized. This is going to look like a whole different shop by the time I'm done. I do this once a year. And for some of the bigger projects I have planned for the coming year, I'm going to need to organize and clean this shop. That way I know where everything is, and everything is nice and clean and pristine, so to speak. But if we do it a little bit at a time, it will get finished up. The trick with this kind of stuff is just take it step by step, bit by bit, and you'll get there. I don't know where these plastic bags came from. They must have got blown in when I left the doors open with all these leaves, because there's a lot of leaves that got in here. Couple of rotted out pieces of board. and you thought your kid's bedroom was messy. And you'd think with all these leaves that I'd left this for months and months. I'll have you know, I did this 4 times throughout the fall, and it's just been the past couple months with all these leaves. That's also true. It is very hard to keep a shop clean with metalworking. That and all these damn trees we have back here. If you guys saw that video where we had that massive tree branch come down on the fence and we had to remove that, yeah, these trees are a nightmare. The city owns the property on the other side of the fence. So right now they're actually working on getting them removed, getting most of those trees removed because they're a hazard to properties. I'm doing well. How you doing, DJ? It's good to see you, man. Just doing some shop maintenance, spring cleaning, cleaning up everything for the spring and the summer, and getting rid of all these damn leaves from these trees. I'm glad that YouTube is recommending my channel to people, though. That is very nice. It's good to know. It's good to know that the channel's actually getting promoted. When I first made the channel, because of my last name, Hooker, it had quite a few issues, algorithm-wise. Let's just say the algorithm thought I was doing things that I was most definitely not doing. Literally, it was promoting my videos next to videos of, let's call them showgirls in Vegas. It's kind of hard to get your metal work out there when the algorithm thinks you're a burlesque channel. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm shadow banned on TikTok. Because my stuff just doesn't get the reach that I used to. I'm thinking of possibly rebranding the name of my shop in the next coming years to something else instead of my last name, just because I think that it has an issue with my last name when it comes to being searched up. Makes it harder for people to find me for sure, because it thinks you're looking for something that you're not. And I definitely don't want... What am I filming on? My camera, my phone. This is my phone. This is actually every video on the whole channel has been filmed on this phone and one other phone. Found using key terms for my videos. Yeah, I'm sure it makes it a lot harder. I'm thinking of rebranding it to something. I just haven't quite figured out what I want to name it yet. Renaming a forge is kind of a tricky thing. Especially because there's a lot of people out there doing blacksmithing related stuff. So finding a channel name that I like that isn't already taken is going to be quite a task. Where do I want to move this to for now? Screw it. We'll just put it right here for the time being. It'll be out of the way enough. Oh, absolutely. I love engaging with my audience, so anytime I get the opportunity to engage with people, I do. If you make sure to subscribe, I reply to almost every comment that I get on my YouTube videos. And I do everything from blade making to martial arts stuff, so if you have any interest in any of that kind of stuff, we'll get along swimmingly. Damn leaves, man. It's like I can't escape them. Hopefully once they get rid of those trees, it won't be such a problem anymore. It looks like everybody left. That sucks. I must have said something or done something. It must be me, right? Am I not engagement baity enough for the engagement club? I'm still here. Oh, cool. Yeah, for some reason it says there's 0 people on my end. I don't know if that's just a glitch on my side or what it is, but it says I have nobody in at the moment. Glad to know you're still here, man. I'm almost done sweeping, which is good. At least for the time being, until I can move some more stuff around. Not sure why it's not showing us as more viewers. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of stuff happens on my channel a lot. Like I said, I think that the YouTube overlords despise me. Yeah, I think from the looks of it, all the leaves are off the trees at the moment. So that's good, at least. There's no leaves up in the sky right now. And I do a pretty decent job of getting them all off the yard. So hopefully none of them blow in from the other side. But once they remove those trees, it'll be a lot less leaves. Because those trees hang out over the house and over the yard. Yeah, exactly. There were a couple guys out here looking at the trees from the city, I want to say 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, and they were talking about needing to put together a game plan because they want to remove 3 or 4 of them, and all the ones they want to remove hang out over the house. Like, they're good 20, 30 feet tall trees, and they all hang right over the fence and into the yard and over the house. So they're going to have to find a way to bring them down out towards the city property where there's nothing out there, without damaging the property here more, because it's all the roots from those trees have already broken the fence in several places. We've had limbs fall on the fence and snap parts of the fence, so it's just ridiculous. And the damn raccoons, I'll tell you what, those damn raccoons, I have had to shoot many of them with a pellet gun because they are a threat to my dogs. So damn tree pandas out here, man. I'll tell you what though, a .7 little pellet gun, those little air guns, they work real good. They're smart too. I put out traps, like live traps for them, and the traps will be tripped, the bait will be gone, and there's no raccoon inside. So somehow they're getting the bait and triggering the trap without getting themselves caught up in it, which makes no sense to me because I put it all the way on the back inside, and it's in a place where they shouldn't be able to reach in and get a hold of it. They're smart little buggers. Tell you what though, it is funny when you whack them in the head with a pellet gun and they go stiff and fall out of the tree. Just kind of like freeze up and drop. It's actually kind of hilarious. Awesome. Now the organizationing can begin. And there's a lot of it to do. Oh yeah, they can do some crazy stuff. I mean, God built them with bandit masks. Let us know right from the get-go that they're little thieves. And he gave them thumbs. Like, if you look at their hands, they've got these little bandit mittens, like little criminal gloves and a little bandit mask. Little thieving monsters, man. Get this plugged back in. There we go. Now, we can start to organize this. Get everything where it belongs, for the most part. Need to charge the battery on that. Dead as heck. sets of those. Some resin handle scales for knives I haven't finished up yet. That can get tossed. Tape measures. Where's that other one? There it is. That can go down here with the rest of the other hammers. Pieces of wood up here. Piece of cork. All the pearl wood. Dies. Unfinished project. That has warped significantly. Chunk of leaf spring. We are getting there, guys. We are getting there. Guys and gals. It's starting to become something like a shop again. This is going to be interesting. Hang the spring fork up there. Tape measure down in here. I baffle myself sometimes where I put things. Put these out outside of the shop for the moment. Yeah, man, raccoons, they come with all these built-in parts that just tell you they're trouble right off the I'm going to take a 5-minute restroom break. I'll be right back. Go get yourself some coffee. Wait, would you say that cleaning and reorganizing is a relaxing experience, or does it seem like more of a task? And in the moment, it seems like a task. When it's done, it is very satisfying. So it's kind of in between, I guess you would say. It's definitely something that the longer you put it off, the harder it gets to do, let's say. Because the more it builds up, the more you're looking at it going, the harder it gets to find stuff around the shop, the more chaotic it feels in the shop. So it definitely becomes a task that has to be done. But when it is finished, it's like a breath of fresh air because you can walk into the shop and everything's right where it should be, and it's easier to do the projects. So yeah, that's how that is for sure. It's kind of both depending on what phase I'm on of it. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Now, finish organizing this bit over here. That can get tossed because it's dead. That can get tossed because it's dead. How the hell did a stick get in there? I don't know if you guys saw that video that I just had dropped today, talking about it's a medieval misconceptions video, but it was basically going over how basically spears are super underrated. They're super duper underrated. People always think of a sword when they think of the medieval period, and never spears, even though spears are like the primary thing that was used. And dump all this out and get it organized. Hardy tools. So these, all my hardy tools are going to go in here. And get nice and organized. We can toss these. Alright. And we'll put the big punches in here as well as the drifts. So they're easier to store. There we go. We can put all of our smaller punches and chisels in here. Let's organize them by punches and chisels first. Good God, you need to be fixed. Look how bent that sucker is. Looks like the Banana Republic, if you get my drift. Definitely going to be time for some tool maintenance here soon. Gonna have to reshape some of the punches just because they've seen better days. Not all of them. A lot of them are in good shape. But some of them are definitely going to need it. Separate the artistic punches from the regular punches. Where's that curved chisel? I just saw you, you son of a gun. There you are, curved chisel. And where's the chunker? That's not you. Okay, so chisels will go facing that way. Punches will go facing this way. here. Put this on top of it. Now I can take our sculpture making punches and chisels, put them right there. We'll put the hot cut, no, the hot cut can stay in there. But we'll put all the big chisels in here. There we go. No, I don't like that idea. That'll work better. You can see all the forge scale that got into that bucket and all the leaves that got into that bucket just from blowing around in the shop over time. Cool. We're making progress. Get all the rest of this forge scale just swept out. It's not going to hurt anything. Sweet. Now we can put all these back down underneath you. These guys can go right here. Those can stay there for now. Awesome. Now that side of the shop is done for the most part. We can focus on the crazier part. Where do we get started here? Toss this old belt because it's seen better days. As you can see, this and this are going to be quite a task. Yay. It's getting there. Put these in here. That needs to go in the box. All these can go on the floor. This. The hard work will certainly pay off. It's always nice. Oh yes. Oh yes, that's the whole reason we do it. Gotta get the whole place in working order. Having a clean workspace is very, very nice. Having a chaotic workspace, at least for me, makes my mind more chaotic. If that makes any sense. A lot of this is stuff that I just get out in the moment and then I forget to put away, if that makes sense. When I'm working on something, I'll pull out a drill bit or pull out a impact head or something like that, then forget to put it back in its spot. And eventually it all just piles up. Eventually it reaches a point of chaos where everything's out of order. Well, we're getting somewhere. Starting to clear off most of that stuff. These are all shop towels. Yep, shop towels. Make a place for those here in a second. Corks. Leather tacks. Leather punch tool. These can go in there. That's all leather stuff. That's all leather. Put it in the leather bag. Set that aside. Handy saw. Shop rags. More leather. Chunk of coil spring. For some reason. These are all shop rags that can get tossed because they're all used up. Leather. Bunch of rope. There's that spring. Been looking for that spring for months. Here's my flatter. Take these. Those can go in that box. Shop rag. I knew I had more duct tape and tape. And more of this. those. Set that aside. Fresh pair of gloves, cool. Didn't even remember I had those. Move the saw blades over to the scrap pile. For when we organize that. That can go there. Zip you up. For the most part. Hang you back where you go. There we go. Wrap this up around you. Tossed. It's going to make things so much nicer. This lid. Put all the shop rags in the shop rag bag now. biggest parts of the project tackled. Got the desk and underneath it all cleaned up now and organized. Oh yeah, now we got that one to do. Shouldn't be too bad. Go in the bottom drawer with the other caster needles. Thanks. It's gonna make it a lot more presentable for my videos too, because the shop was getting pretty chaotic in the videos, so it made me feel kind of self-conscious. Any tools that you would still like to get? There are, but I don't know if I'd be able to fit them in the shop. That's the tricky thing to me, is if they're gonna fit in my shop. Because as you've seen, my shop's not that big. Eventually, I want to get a small power hammer or treadle hammer built in here. I'm gonna build it into that frame that has the vise and those other two small anvils, because a treadle hammer or a power hammer would really help my work in a lot of cases. I've got a lathe, but that lathe is kind of trash. I got it for like 40 bucks second hand, and it's like a 60s 40s lathe that screams every time it runs, so not exactly the best thing to work with. So that's probably going to get replaced sooner or later. Probably a better grinder, because I got this works great. It replaced that Ryobi that I was using. This is a buck tool, and it works pretty good, but it's a 4x36, and it takes forever to sand and polish steel compared to something like a 2x72 or a 1x54 or something like that would be a lot faster. They're just a lot more expensive, so it's not exactly something that I personally have the budget for yet. But I'm going to sweep this desk off and sweep this other desk off real quick. But before I do that, I'm going to put my respirator on, because it's got a lot of dust from grinding and sanding, and I don't want to be breathing that stuff in. Get these knives put away real quick. Right here where it belongs. Duh. See, you can tell I'm so used to having my shop disorganized that when it's organized, I don't know where everything is just yet. I wish everyone would be... Oh shit, okay. Glad to have you, man. Thanks for being in.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Alrighty. Just one moment.
Get the fan put back over there. Leaf springs in the way. Big ass chunk of leaf spring. To get the leaf spring off of a heavy duty truck, it's easily a good 200 pounds of leaf spring. I think we're gonna put it back here for now, on the back side of the forge. That way I know where it is and it's out of the way for when I start wanting to use it. Okay, and then we can put the busted 4x36 down underneath for now until we have a chance to disassemble it. See, it's already starting to look much more nice and organized. Everything has its home. Obviously I need to move the gloves and some stuff off that, but that's not a big deal. Now I can start working on the really crazy part, which is going to be organizing all of the scrap material I have over here. That chair can go there for now. Got some big boy joints here from a buddy's truck to be replaced. You know your CVs are bad when they look like that. I'm thinking of turning this big old masonry cutting saw blade into an axe head of some kind, like a big old war axe. How many blades will that leaf spring typically get you? A lot. Depends on how thick they're going to be. But I could probably make close to 100 knives out of that, maybe 40 swords out of that. Just depending on how thin I get it and how much I move of it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you can stretch that stuff out a lot, and it's very strong steel, so it goes a long way, let's say. Put this up here for now, because that's going to be a project for the future. Some other saw blades, we'll keep those together for the moment. Is this the brass? I think this is all the brass. Yep, that's all the brass. Yep. All cut-offs. Cut-off bucket. Tossed. I don't know if y'all can tell that I shoot a lot, but that's all brass that I've generated. These lids. If you've seen my Warhammer stuff, when I test them, typically I do it on these stainless steel lids. Just because if it can puncture through 3mm stainless, I don't think it's going to have an issue puncturing through much else. That's stabilizer agent for the rigidizer agent for the coal. Bows that need repairs. More brass. Coil springs, and a bunch of cut-off pieces of coil springs. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, that's all the brass right there that I've shot. And, well, all the brass I've kept that I've shot, and other bits like brass tube, pipe that I use for various things. Putting all these longer pieces of material in that bucket. Oh yeah, I am a very big firearms enthusiast. Well, I'm an every weapon enthusiast technically, but I mean, what's the difference, right? Can go in the trash. sword you were asking about, this is a railroad clip spring. That's what I made that fallout sword out of. I think it was you that was asking about it. It might have been somebody else. But that's a railroad clip spring. Very hard stuff. One of these days, when I get a crucible, I'm going to melt all that brass down to make guards. That would definitely look like some nice guards. Thanks. Yeah, the ones I do now are almost all made out of railroad spikes. Dump this bucket out. Get all the metal that's in there out and toss all the trash. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. Oh yeah, for sure. Probably not a basket unless I could get the casting down right, because casting brass can be kind of tricky, especially because I've never done it before. But I would definitely cast a guard out of it, and a pommel as well, like the traditional, like, Civil War style ones. But there is the scrap pile, all neatly organized. We got railroad spikes, railroad clip springs and springs, full springs, cut up springs and other cut up pieces of spring steel, smaller cut-offs. And then this is all either unfinished projects or pieces of longer stock that's straighter. But now, the shop is clean. I have exercised the demons, as they say. Now I can put this crossbow back right there. Move these out of the way. Put the charger there. Put these gloves there. These are winter gloves. Move these here, because that's where I uses them. Open the bag of fresh gloves, because it's going to be so nice to have some fresh gloves. Oh yeah. Look at the difference between a brand new pair and a pair that's been used. Nice and gray and brand new, rusted and burnt. That's a big difference. Great, the hard work certainly paid off. Can't wait to watch it. Oh yeah, for sure. It's all nice and organized now. I'm so happy. Feels good. Put the power cord back where it belongs. So, since I'm not going to have that hanging anymore. Yeah. And all it took was 2.5 hours? 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. And now we've got a nice, clean, organized shop. Oh man. Now the question is, what am I going to do with it now that it's all clean? And how fast is it going to get disorganized again? It's nice when everything's in its place, though. Nice to have the shop all swept up and cleaned up. Ah. Alrighty. Well, that does it for the shop cleaning for today. Go put the trash can back, put the broom back, the shovel back, all that good stuff. And I think I'm going to end this stream there. So, thanks for coming in. Thanks for chatting, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, God bless. Stay sharp out there. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it, Chris. I will see you in the next one. I might be streaming later today. I might not. Just depends on what I end up doing with the rest of the day. So, I'll see you guys later.